Maldives Environment Minister Aminath Shauna, who was pleased that the issue is on the agenda for the first time, said that what's most important for the Maldives and small islands is the track of negotiations on loss and damage.
This is my 9th day in Sharm El-Sheikh, and there's movement in all tracks and finances, but what's most important for the Maldives and small islands is the track of negotiations on loss and damage. And there's been a lot of discussions on it. First of all, when we started, having an agenda item is something that has never happened before.
She added that there's a genuine interest and genuine concern for the issues of loss and damage, which has for many years been on the back burner.
From my conversations, there is genuine interest and genuine concern for the issue of loss and damage, which has for many years been in the back burner. And people realize that it can no longer be out of focus, and it has received the attention it deserves. The question is whether we get what we have been demanding, not just this year, for the past 30 years. Small island states have been advocating for increase in adaptation finance, increased ambition on mitigation, and also addressing ways to address loss and damage.
Meanwhile, Egypt's Environment Minister Yasmin Fuad said the Egyptian presidency would fulfill its role bridging the gap between developed and developing nations, but warned it depends on all of us.
The beginning of the COP was a real success, that with the economic crisis, food security crisis, energy crisis, those number of world leaders came to Sharm El-Sheikh to prove that the climate change is not a second priority and still a necessity, with all the statements that they have given and the roundtables that Egypt presidency has planned to do with all the involvement of all world leaders. Secondly, the negotiations, like any of the COP, is having that back and forth between the developed and the developing country, global north and global south, but still there is a kind of agreement that we need to push the agenda forward, push the 1.5 for the mitigation work program forward, start progressing on adaptation agenda, and discussing more in details the loss and damage. Of the multilateral the ministers that will take over the text on Monday, and then the presidency would be facilitating all the discussion to bridge the gap. So rest assured that Egypt will be fulfilling its role to bridge that kind of gap in order to push that agenda forward. But it depends on all of us on that.
Scientists say the amount of greenhouse gases being pumped into the atmosphere need to be halved by 2030 to meet the goals of the Paris Climate Accord. The 2015 pact set a target of ideally limiting temperatures rise to 1.5 Celsius by the end of the century, but left it up to countries to decide how they want to do so.